Okay, here we go. So this is the first scary bit of the journey, in that I basically went out, as I've done every time, gone round to my charger, gone to my supercharger, and the door didn't open. No magic clicking. Tried it on the button on the charger, tried inside on the display, but nothing. So had a small terror moment there, which was not enjoyable at all, but the trick is hard reboot, let the system reset itself, and then the door works. Phew. So that's good news. Useful tip if you're oh, let's just plug that in. Let's make sure that's working. Let me just shut that door. Yeah, so useful tip if you are struggling to get the door open, which I've never had in the 4 months I've had the car, but if you do reboot, it's lucky I've worked in IT, isn't it? Really, it helps. Anyway, the other thing I was going to mention on this video was I did a bit of stats, because I'm using a site called TeslaFI, which is really useful. It just gives you loads and loads of stats about Tesla, about your car, how many kilowatts you're using, how many miles you're doing, the altitude you're at, the temperature. It's a fantastic website. I highly recommend it. If anybody's got a Tesla, it's just gives you, if you like stats, this is the place to go. So I was just looking at it. So it showed me, so I've done 290 miles in day one, 535 in the second day, and 296 yesterday. So I've done 1,121 miles in my first 3 days. A combination of 24 hours of driving. I've used 349 kilowatts in that time, which, based on the figures that I set after my, although I've just changed over, but at 14 pence a kilowatt, if I was to charge it at home, it would cost me £49, just shy of 50 quid basically. Which, so I've saved 50 quid on superchargers, but then just for fun, I translated that into petrol with my 40 miles to the gallon old car that I used to have, and I worked out with that kind of mileage, it would use about 28 gallons, and based on figures currently of around £1.30 or whatever it is a litre, that's about 170 quid, probably a bit more. So 170, 180 quid I've saved in fuel. So it's quite a fascinating insight into travelling. So that's actually paid for the accommodation for the last 2 nights, which is exactly what I was planning on. So the fuel that I've saved, I can actually pay for my accommodation. So that is utter genius in terms of the supercharger network. And as you can see now, I'm just about to go onto the coast, and there's Tesla chargers all the way along there. I'm not sure whether you can see this to the same level of degree, but if I just show you, you can see Tesla charger, Tesla charger, Tesla charger. So for some reason, Croatia coast seems to be sorted for Tesla chargers. Anyway, that's enough from me. I'll continue the next journey, and we'll see you on at the end of the day. All right, that's it for me. Bye-bye.